Good morning. I am outside today. I thought that might be fun. You'll hear the sound of traffic nearby. You'll see, hopefully, some tree behind me. And I just wanted to share an experience I had with some pine trees one time in New Hampshire. And so, Spirit, I want to welcome you forward for your enjoyment and for you to share the awe that I experienced when God met me on a mountain in New Hampshire. I remember looking out at the trees, and there was a lot of tree. And the Lord asked me if I could count how many trees there were. And I knew He was going to show me something, and I also knew there was no way that I was going to come up with an accurate number of trees. And so I said no. Then He asked me to scoop up a handful of pine needles. And to put them in my hand. And He said, without taking time, do you know how many are there? Do you know how many needles are in your hand right now? And I said, no, I don't. Then He asked me to look at all the trees with all their needles. And He announced that He knew every single needle on every single tree, on every single hill, in every single place. And He didn't have trouble keeping track of that. And I want to bless you today, Spirit, with that truth, because if you hold that truth, it helps soul anchor when soul is faced with things that don't make sense or seem too big or are hard to understand. Spirit, you're the one that can hold the truth that you're not alone. And you hold it differently than soul does. And I bless you in your understanding of that being superior is for a purpose. It was God's intention that you would be the first. Just think about cognitive memory and how it doesn't even start forming in our brains until 6 weeks. So Spirit, you had all that time in the womb and all that time after birth as a head start for you, so that you would know what it's like to be in the driver's seat, to be active in the life, and to know the goodness of God and that connection with Him, because you were in Him before you came. And I bless you that that was for a purpose. That God's intention would be that you would always be successful at being able to sit in the driver's seat of life. Soul may have learned some things and has some historical understanding from conception onward. But you, Spirit, you're designed by God to reach into the atmosphere with creation and to know Him several different ways, with the names that He has portioned for you for your journey, so that you would have the advantage of always, always, always bringing to bear the big picture of God. And I bless you that it's not dependent on the weather, and it's not dependent on whether you're near a tree or not. And it's not dependent on your emotions and how you feel about it. And it's not dependent on the external circumstances that are going on in your life right now. That you were created by light, for light. And you are designed to exist in light, with light. And when you bring your perspective into the big picture, it helps soul understand how to narrow what is allowed to affect the internal area of our heart. I really enjoy sitting with you and releasing these blessings, and I hope that you are enjoying them, drinking freely, because they have come to me free. They've come from the Lord. And I bless you that as you drink of them and as you receive them, you have permission to offer them to others, whether it's through words or through gaze or through joy, through your presence, through your compassion, your understanding. Your connection with God is what makes you able to help others know that they're worth connecting to. If God can love me and all of my snafus and all of you guys, just any spirit that's listening right now, please believe me. If God can love me, He can love you. And that is what's true. And your truth will defend you and hold ground for you. When the enemy tries to tell you you don't belong, or you're never going to get it right, or all of those lies. No, we're not perfect yet. But Spirit, you do belong. And you are greatly loved. And you are welcome to the table. And the more that you drink, the healthier you get. And the healthier you get, the more you come into alignment, which means more connection with God, which means more to drink. So I bless you today to drink deeply. And not just from this blessing for you, but Spirit, I want to encourage you to examine your life. What the soul does during the day, where the body goes. I'm thinking that there is nourishment for you. And if you can help soul understand that it's good for you, and body comes into agreement with that, you'll get even healthier, even faster. I bless you today in Jesus' name.